Reach for the speed, reach for the whistle, go where the rail may run. Reach for the words, reach for the story, follow the rainbow sun. To a shining time station, where dreams can come true, waiting there for you. So much to see, so far to travel, so much to learn to know. Friends by your side, hopes to hold on to, who knows how far you'll go. To a shining time station, where dreams can come true. Your own imagination waiting there for you.
On the island of Sodor there is a little railway ran by little engines, famous for its scenic views along the lake, its bridges over great valleys, and of course the quaint engines that run the line. That railway is the Skarloey Railway. Built many years ago, the Skarloey Railway draws in many tourists each year to see the engines and take a trip along the beautiful line. There are many engines that run the little line, but one of the oldest is Duke. He's well respected by all the engines, who would often tell stories of his days on a previous railway known as the Mid-Sodor, be it if the others asked or not.
This little red engine was actually very good. She would always be so gentle with the coaches and trucks. She was very good with animals too.
Duke loved his life on the Skarloey Railway. He had been buried in a shed for years until he was found, but he always looked back on his time on the Mid-Sodor with a sense of nostalgia, remembering the engines that came before, all except one. One night, the engines were resting after a busy autumn day. Rusty was still out with some workmen cutting down some trees that were at risk of falling onto the line. Duke simmered nicely when Peter Sam spoke up.
Tell us a story of the Mid-Sodor, Duke.
Why do you want stories, Peter Sam? You were there, Stuart.
No, before me and Sir Endel came to the line.
Yes, I am curious about something.
Oh? And what's that?
Smudger. You say he came to the island in 1920, and it wasn't until 1928 that he was turned into a pumping engine.
I'm not talking about him.
Why not, Duke? Surely management didn't keep him around for 8 years if he was that bad.
He wasn't to start with. To start with? You mean he don't always like rock and roll? Not like you, Duncan, no. But when he came to the island he was a very reserved engine, kept to himself and focused on his work. It was a calm summer's day and Smudger sat in the yard.
Now, Smudger, I appreciate your history. You'll be pulling trucks for a while, just till you settle in and get over your shell shock.
Yes, sir.
Smudger was good with the trucks. He would always pull them carefully due to his past over in France. But it came a time when another engine went away and he had to pull passengers. He was afraid of passenger trains, as every time he pulled anything with people in before, they would never come back.
Don't worry, Smudger. These people won't be pulled by you. You're just taking them up the mountain and back down. Right.
And he did. He was very careful on the turns and always braked ever so softly. The passengers loved him and they all came back the next day. It made Smudger so proud.
So what went wrong?
We got a new engine. She was brilliant and everyone loved working with her. The passengers called her a smart-looking engine. Smudger got jealous and played up.
When did she come to the railway?
Sometime after 1923, I think. She was only just built. But that's still 5 years. Exactly. The jealousy didn't start straight away. He was very helpful with her at first, and showed her the line, and helped her out a lot. I thought he had taken a real liking to her at first. But soon it turned to jealousy. After a year she was starting to do more of the passenger runs than he was. Then he was back to just doing trucks. He would beg me to let him take my trains, saying I was an old engine and needed rest. You still do.
Duncan! Shush!
Anyways, I would let him take my trains just to keep him quiet, but soon he got cocky. He tried to go faster than the other engine. The water would slosh about inside his tanks as he wasn't built for speeds, and he would derail constantly. Eventually, it got so bad they turned him into the pump engine behind the shed.
Peter, Sam and Sir Handel shuddered at the thought. And what about when the line shut down?
You know, I don't know. As far as I'm aware, he's still there.
Just then, Rusty pulls in, his engine spluttering slightly. Evening all. Sorry I'm late. None need to be sorry, Rusty. You're doing a grand job keeping us safe. Is your engine okay? Oh yeah, I'll be fine. What did I miss? Oh, Duke was just telling us about Smudger. Smudger? What a funny name.
Says the rolling rust bucket.
Nah, Duncan. If it weren't for this rust bucket, none of you would be working tomorrow. We had to remove a big old oak tree that came loose in the recent rainstorms. It was at risk of falling down onto you.
Bah, I had worse in the RAF.
Oh, here we go.
No, you try working when bombs could fall out of the sky at any second. I'll have you know, and you sound just like Smudger. I've had enough. Be quiet and go to sleep.
And with that, Duke shut his eyes. The others looked stunned, but went to sleep.
Blasted old engine. I heard that.
The next few weeks went by without much trouble. Rusty and the men patrolled the line looking for any more trees at risk, but felt confident there wasn't anything wrong. It was beginning to turn to winter and the snow fell when the Thicken controller stood outside the engine shed. Duke was out on the last picnic train. Everyone, we'll be taking delivery of another engine for a while. He's been recently restored and needs running in. His owner is still looking for a railway for him to work on, but for now, he's here until after summer. Do you have a name, sir? Smudger. The engines looked at each other in shock. It can't be. Surely not. Duke's not going to like this.
Oh, this will be fun.
We can't tell him. But we must. He needs to know. You want to be the one to upset him? You can't upset the old Duke. That never went well for me or Sir Handel. No, and you have the right mind not to do it yourself. You'll never hear the end of it. He might not show it, but he's still angry at Sir Handel for almost falling off the cliff. Don't remind me. Okay, we won't tell him, but I think he will be more upset we didn't tell him and kept it secret. Shush! Here he comes now.
What's going on?
Nothing. Duke eyed them suspiciously and went to sleep.
So, Duke, I'm sleeping.
Duncan kept his mouth shut. The next morning, Duke was simmering away in the sheds when he heard a familiar whistle.
I've not heard that in a long time. Who did it belong to again?
He looked shocked as an engine rolled up next to him.
Smudger?
Hello, Duke. Long time no see.
I thought you were scrapped.
Close. But I was found not long after you. One of the men dug me out and has spent the last few decades slowly rebuilding me. His grandson took over well. Here I am. Duke glared for a second.
You behave. I'll make sure you don't stay more than you're welcomed here.
And he stormed off, leaving a very sad Smudger behind. Rusty was in the shed and heard everything. You must be Smudger. We've heard a lot about you. Oh yeah? And I bet it's all about how I derailed a lot, huh? Smudger snapped. Sorry, I was hoping to at least apologise to Duke. I tried so many times to get back on rails, but he wouldn't talk to me. You did cause a lot of trouble by the sounds of it. I also had a long time to think about what I had done, and how stupid I was. Didn't mean to cause so many issues. All I can say now, Smudger, is try your hardest and show Duke you've changed. The Thin controller came and talked to Smudger. He was paired up with Scarlowy to learn the line, and they ran beautifully. They arrived at Lakeside just as Duke was about to leave, and he didn't even blow them a hello whistle. Oh dear, I'm sorry, Smudger. He's not normally like that.
It's fine. I didn't expect any less.
I don't get why he said you were off. You seem very smooth to me.
When they rebuilt me, they put baffles in me tanks to try and stop water sloshing about so much.
I see. I must say it seems to be working very well.
Thank you. I feel smoother than I remember. They've also given me better springs too.
Well, you seem a fine engine to me.
Thanks. I probably won't be staying.
Why not?
They had some new frames and plans laid out and works. I think they might be building a new engine.
Skarloey was confused. The two kept working and soon Smudger was out on the line alone. He would pull long trains of slate from the quarry and was even allowed to run passenger trains. All the other engines got along with him, but Duke refused to talk to him. Whenever they were on shed, Duke insisted on being the furthest road away from Smudger.
Rough riding engine will be the downfall of us all. Mark my words,
he would warn the other engines. Soon the snow got heavier and the engines were fitted with snowplows. Smudger even got some side plating to help. All except Duke.
Sorry, Duke. Without buffers, we can't fit a snowplow to you. You're not designed to push.
Send me out after everyone else. The line should be clear enough by then.
You be careful, Duke.
It's no bother to me. It's what we did before.
The snow got heavier over the next few days, and soon it was building up along the tracks. Duncan was passing an area Rusty had removed some trees and saw a snow mound up the hill. That looks like it's ready to come down. We'll test it with some detonators.
As long as I don't get buried in it.
We'll keep moving after the debts just to be safe.
His firemen set the detonators and they rolled over them. The snow didn't move.
Better tell the next signalman just to be safe.
They got to the next signal box when they heard an almighty roar.
It's come down!
Duke's coming through next and he's knocked out my signals. I can't stop him.
Duke was trundling along nicely when they rounded the corner and saw the snowdrift.
Brakes!
Duke opened his eyes. He was buried deep in the snow. He tried to go backwards, but he couldn't. He tried to go forwards, but he couldn't. He was stuck. Duncan had backed down to them.
Are you okay, Duke? Just stuck. Try pulling me out. We have some chain in the guard's van.
They hooked Duncan up with a chain, but he slipped on the icy track as he tried to pull.
I'm not strong enough. Go get help.
Duncan went off as quickly as he could. Down at Lakeside, Smudger was waiting to move the goods train.
Smudger! You need to leave that and go rescue an engine stuck in snow. Who is it?
Duke! Smudger raced off as fast as he could. He got to the snowdrift and found Duke looking cold.
Duke, are you okay?
Duke said nothing.
Listen, I'm here to help. You can't leave passengers stranded there, can you? Remember what happened with you on the hill and Sturt?
Duke looked back and sighed.
Okay. Pull me out.
Smudger hooked up and pulled with all his strength. Being the strongest engine on the line, he let out an almighty roar from his chimney. He huffed and he puffed, and soon Duke was moving, slowly creeping forward out of the snow. The passengers cheered. Duke just looked down.
I'm sorry I was rude, Smudger.
It's fine. I listened into your conversations for years after what happened, and I learnt my lesson. I miss being on rails. I was wrong to be jealous of that little engine. Plus I knew I wasn't built for speeds I was going at. I'm top heavy as is.
You know, I always regretted what happened to you. I did try to talk to the manager to give you back your wheels.
You did?
Yes, no engine should be turned into a pumping engine. The reason I never spoke to you was I was angry at you, but also the manager. I couldn't bring myself to acknowledge you were still you. I wish we'd all spoken with you.
I weren't fully ignored. It's a little engine. Pepper spoke to me when she could.
Pepper! Yes, that was her name. I couldn't remember it.
Smudger helped Duke back to the station and then went with some workmen to help clear the drift. The line was soon reopened. That night, Smudger and Duke wouldn't stop talking between themselves, laughing at times gone by.
Shut up, I'm trying to sleep.
Let them talk. It's been a while.
Bah.
Soon, a little diesel rolled in and stopped in front of Smudger.
How are you?
I'm Fred. I've got to take Mr. Smudger into works now for tomorrow's examinations. Make sure he's still fit for service.
They've not seen you about? When did you get here? Fred just smiled. I can't tell you what he said, because that's a story for another day.
Reach for the wind, reach for the whistle, go where the rail may run. Reach for the song, reach for the story, follow the rainbow sun. To a shining time station where dreams can come true, waiting there for you. So much to see, so far to travel, so much to learn to know. Friends by your side, hopes to hold on to, who knows how far we'll go. To a shining time station where dreams can come true. Your own imagination's waiting there for you. To a shining time station where dreams can come true.